communication.
Dota is really advanced. Like you can just press like Alt and you left click an item and it says, I need 400 gold for this item. Like in
Or
the
this
chat.
item, this spell is on cooldown. And
Yeah.
it translates it into whichever client you're running Dota on, so.
I knew that.
Okay.
I don't know what they're looking for in the draft, though, so let's take a peek at that. What is Team Liquid going to be looking for here?
Are you surprised about the Oracle? It's really good against the Dusa, obviously. Can disarm the Dusa.
We love you, Richard.
We love you, yeah. Don't worry about it.
So, you know, Dota, you run it through Steam, you know.
Is this one of those computer games?
So you got a bit confused. You tried to play some Dota for this tournament. You actually found yourself playing auto chess, I heard.
Yeah, it was total confusion. It wasn't on purpose that I just clocked hundreds of hours on auto chess.
And then you get here, you're like, wait, this isn't an auto chess tournament?
Am I at the wrong tournament? But if you go into the caster room, you realize you're actually at the right tournament because they're playing auto chess right now. They probably don't even know what's been logged in yet.
They're tapped out of the draft playing auto chess.
So Toby and Kyle were waiting for the bus early. They were like, yeah. I was like, why are you here so early?
No, they left the bus. They were like, the faster we walk, the faster we can play auto chess.
Yeah, I was like, man, these guys are really excited to get their makeup on this morning. All right, well, let's go back to the draft. Did we miss anything crucial here?
Nothing crazy. Darkseer Underlord.
Same thing, pretty much.
I mean, Darkseer puts Mag into a support role, which is something, you know.
So it's a Mag Darkseer lane, most likely.
A lot of teams doing tri-lanes, but Magnus isn't really a tri-lane hero, so.
He is not.
Yeah.
And Undying eats tri-lanes alive, so.
Yep.
Yeah. I think right now the lanes are really strong for Pango.
And Pango's, I like their opening better, and I like these 4 heroes way better.
I like the Oracle is just picked for the Dusa. You can disarm her. You can, I mean, like it doesn't strike me as super good in this game.
It's one of those things where Oracle can be good when the opponent's trying to burst down one here, but look at Pango. They're playing to have a long team fight. Underlord, Undying, Earth Spirit, Magnetized, Dusa. Like, this is like a let's have a really long, drawn-out fight. That's where Oracle with the False Promise isn't going to be amazing.
And all 4 heroes are incredibly tanky. Obviously, Underlord just builds all these aura items. Undying, naturally tanky through Strength Steal. And this Earth Spirit just gets 4 strength every level. The lineup is actually...
It looks way better to me.
Liquid might lack some damage already in the early game portion.
Well, also you talk about Pango going for this long team fight sort of build here in the draft. Before we even got to the draft, the main concern that you did have for Pango was that the opening portions of the game. Does this mitigate that at all, or is the beginning of the game still going to be very scary for them?
They have good support, so it looks solid. Like Undying, Earth Spirit.
It will depend on the rotations of the Earth Spirit.
Like, but they're against a Magnus, so like, are you really going to lose the early game against a Magnus? So
probably not,
Magnus?
But this Earth Spirit can make or break the early game, of course, as he has in many games already. So we'll be looking forward to King R's performance here as a stand-in.
Their lineup looks like they may be the ones playing faster pace. You know, like 5-man Dusa lineup. You got the Underlord for all the aura items. Undying, you could just look to barrel through towers very quickly here. Visage getting banned for that very reason.
If they pick up like a Juggernaut, it could be really good for them with a healing ward. Or they would not die to anything if they have a healing ward. Jug lanes really well against Darkseer, obviously.
And PA Magnus do not kill healing ward at all. Like they're going to struggle to deal with that.
I think Jug would be an excellent carry here if they wanted to do that.
Big question for Liquid is what are they going to pick mid, and who's even playing mid for them? Because that
it has to be Matu, right? I think Shadow is not a mid player in my experience, from what I've seen in pub games and stuff at least.
Sure.
But maybe he'll surprise me. Maybe he'll bust out that Invoker and be like, Miracle can do it, I can do it, let's go. Invoker is really good, by the way, in this game. Against these heroes.
Is Invoker a good hero, though? I feel like I've seen games where I'm like, this is the perfect Invoker game. Surely they'll pick it, and then it's like, no.
OG picked it, and they crushed their opponent. It was the only Invoker pick at the minor.
Okay.
Like, if you get a last pick Invoker, it can work.
This I like.
Venge.
That's
carry
like,
Venge.
That's like the replacement to the Visage, where it's just like fast-paced, carry.
CIS special.
Let's be able to, gives you Roche killing potential, gives you tower push, gives you this just way to just play super fast and aggressive.
Yeah.
Now looking at everything that Pango does have, obviously last pick coming in here, but did Pango mitigate that weakness that they did have against Team Liquid? Did they mitigate the scariness of the early game?
Yeah, their draft looks way better early game. I guess it's, if anything, it's the opposite story where Liquid's playing more for the late game. Well, not late game, but they're playing for this timing where they're going to have like an Iron Shell on the PA. PA BKB is like kind of where they look scary.
Looking at his lineup, it's like the monkey. It doesn't strike me as particularly strong against Avenge either. You can just get swapped out of your ult, and then I don't know. I think the lineup of Pango is really good. It's just Can you say Liquid is going to lose this game? I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely came in thinking Liquid's the favorite in this series, but based on Game 1 drafts, I much prefer Pango's draft.
Yeah,
All right, so now with preferring the draft, are you going to predict Pango to win the series?
The whole series?
Well, yeah.
Or just Game 1?
Let's do the
I'll
whole
give him
series.
Game 1, but I think Liquid will take the series.
Okay, so Game 1 to Pango, and then Team Liquid going to be able to take 2 of them. How do you feel about that, Black?
I think for Game 1 at least, Pango is going to win that. Most likely, maybe not, but they definitely have the lineup advantage. But Liquid is going to win overall.
Oh, well, that's the real thing to look at here, though. Just how strong this draft really is for Pango, because all of a sudden we're seeing our analysts move away from Liquid, who they did favor coming into this. So the draft definitely going to speak volumes for Pango. And now we're going to go over to our casters, and we're going to have to see, do they think that this draft is as strong as our analysts do?
That's an interesting question, Richard. Hello, everybody. We're on camera. Hi, Kyle.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm doing great. I'm very happy to see Pango with an aggressive style lineup is what I was hoping from them going up against Liquid. But then again, at the same time, we kind of got what we were expecting from Liquid as well, right?
A little bit. I was surprised nobody mentioned OD, and then it wasn't picked in this game. I thought it would have been a pretty nice finisher, but I don't expect it's like a Matumba Man hero.
Yeah.
The Monkey King is this traditional Chinese counter to a Medusa, and you already have a Magnus as well, so it's kind of nice. I think the panel's right, and the Pango has a bit of an edge, but I think that they're selling Liquid a little short, because this is a draft right here.
Yeah, how many times do you ever go up against like a Magnus PA lineup? And this is the upside of this is what the panel was kind of touching on, is the empower bonus you're going to get with the Monkey King. Everyone gets Iron Shells.
Yeah.
And with the Kuro Classic of Oracle, you can be really over-aggressive. Like, Kuro is going to be there to save your ass. But I'm interested how the laning phase goes, because how does that work? You've got Undying, you've got ES, 2 of the greatest heroes from the current meta to just be these aggressive roamers, this presence across the map. How is Liquid meant to temper this aggression of Pango?
I think you can play the map pretty easily. Liquid, you know, if you think, remember there was like this big post on a Chinese forum about them after TI7, about how they were, they just hid in the trees, and that's why they won. And there's a margin of truth to that, but it's more just about how well Liquid can play away from you. They're the best team in the world at mirroring their opponents, and when you have as much wave clear as they do, in addition to the ability to scale, I'm not that concerned with Pango trying to go high ground like 20 minutes in. I don't think their waves are ever going to be that good for them.
Well, the battle for the runes already comes out as GH is actually able to steal the runes. We've got a small little split battle, but GH skewering King R up the hill. But it will look like everyone will just have to back off. GH took a lot of damage to achieve what he did, but Liquid claimed 3 of the 4 bounty runes at the beginning.
Yeah, we're going to see. I expected a tri-lane aggressive from Pango, but they're going to do the traditional dual lane setup.
Yeah, they just TP'd the Undying to the top lane, but is this really the lane you want to have? Like double Iron Shells from Mind Control is going to push this anyway.
That's my feeling as well, where Undying is also completely ineffective at hunting a Darkseer that's going to start backlaning as soon as possible. And I just don't feel like his presence is going to be felt here, whereas bottom, you know, you're going up against an enemy tri-lane. You want to shut down the Shadow PA. He's the win condition for the side. Like you already see, Mind Control, even though we were paused, we can check him out. He's already beelining for the back lane. Like, that's where he's going to live. He makes his living up in the enemy jungle, pulling creep waves. He can even go behind Tier 2, Tier 3. And the one downside of this Pango draft is you really don't kill this guy unless you bring the Earth Spirit, and he has to stay bottom.
You got no way to also stop him from retreating. So, what, like, Medusa's going to throw a snake, Undying throws Decay, but you don't have someone like a Rubik with Telekinesis Grab. You don't have the way to stop them from just surging away to safety. And that's where Mind Control is going to feel very confident up on the top lane, just do whatever the hell he wants. And they're already TPing down extra. So GH is on bottom lane. He's going to try and work with Kuro to try and kill off the Earth Spirit. So it's already King R in a bit of trouble. You've got Skewer available, but it's just too easy to block him. Skewer forward, and Kuro, well, they'll have the range damage and the close damage through the Fairy Fight as he salve around the tree line. While he's got a small little bit of time, 17 HP. The last attack from Kuro will do the job. And First Blood just caught in the trees, which is ironic for your statement before.
I told you in the draft, when you have an Oracle support, that 4 Magnus all of a sudden has a lot more potential in the early game. You can roam together and hit these, like, it's so easy. You charge up a Q, you skewer back. Nothing anyone can really do if you get pushed 800 units back towards your enemy core. And I expect to see them continue to dominate this bottom lane. Like, I just feel
it's like the opposite of what should be happening, right? Like we're looking at two teams who have two stand-ins.
Yeah.
How do you pressure this opening? Like right now, you've got Shadow, who's just sitting on bottom lane as PA, having the freest time to farm. Like Underlord, yeah, he's a bit more of a pain in the butt, but it's still a 6-0 PA farm so far.
And
you're not stressing the weakness.
I just want to see Underlord with as good a start as possible in a game like this, because if you're able to lane, like look at the damage disparity. PA sitting on 49. This is level 1 atrophy for, mind you, and Underlord's approaching 100. Like you have double damage on this guy if you're in a position where you can just go mano-y-mano on him in the lane. But when you're in a 3-on-1 scenario or 2-on-1 scenario, it's just not that simple. Up top, you see Kuro has rotated.
Yeah, he's trying to stay in the lane because he'll need some levels as well. Because Mind Control he hasn't really found the opening just to creep skip it out.
Just, I feel like if I were to play against Liquid with the Shadow as the stand-in, I would just put more emphasis on slowing down his game.
Yep.
I feel like if you're Liquid, you want to make his game as like they first 2'd Mag PA, you know? It's about as simple a game as you can ask for from a carry player. And if he has a nice lane down here, this is something he's probably done 100 times on this patch.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to have a bit of a crack over at Slayer, who's trying to walk back out. You've got support rotating over from Medusa. Just a quick little snake out. Mind Control, low on life. But remember, he can just surge himself away unless they could block him. But it's not even for that. They just turn around. Mind Control with the Iron Shell damage gets the kill.
Yep.
And Kuro helped him out with the Fortune's End.
And that's part of the reason Darkseer is so effective against Undying. Because, yeah, sure, if Medusa's there, it's going to be possibly a kill, but he doesn't feel confident because there's a lane pushing into his tower at all times. You need to keep a core in this lane, and then Darkseer Oracle, they're free to do whatever they want in the enemy jungle. Bottle picked up on Mind Control as well. You don't see this very often from Darkseer players. It's more of like a feel. You need some sort of regen, so rather than go back to base, he just hits the side chop, and now he can go back to back laning.
Yeah, very interesting that she picked that up. And normally it's just like you get the Soul Ring. It's the cheaper stuff because you normally build it also, especially in this current meta, into mech.
Well, that's what makes Dota so beautiful, and what makes Mind Control such a great player is that every game is different. It's about the feel and what's happening in this specific instance.
GH, I thought for a moment he's just looking to try and drag Ghostic back in. He had the perfect. He was inside a Fog of War. Could have pulled him underneath the tower so Shadow could just go ham.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like a slightly. You lower your, ideally, you know, you want that Faith Beyond game, right? You have Arcane's Vanguard in 6 or 7 minutes, but that's just not realistic. And you got to kind of take what you can get, make the best of it.
I like how you're just labeling it as a Faith Beyond game now. It's like, you know what, he dominated yesterday, but even then, they still only got through in second position.
Hey, he set a record, you know? You gotta.
He did.
It happens.
They just leave Kuro by himself up on top lane. Like, for the aggressive draft that came out from Pango, it really feels like they're not making the most of it. ES has been almost a non-factor ever since giving away First Blood. King R has been waiting for an opportunity, but hasn't been able to really make one.
So the mid lane is where I'd say he needs to try and get the most work done. It's a shame, again, you know, Zayak not here, Pango forced to use King R as a stand-in. I feel like he's their strongest player, and the one that usually gets abused is Sailor in the mid. His hero pool's a bit limited. He loves this Venge, but if you're trying to kill a Monkey King with an Earthspirit gank, how do you ever stun a guy that can just easily dodge your projectile by turning into a tree? This is a very difficult hero, and you're being outlaned pretty significantly, 32 CS to 20.
Well, let's see how this battle gets to go. It's the 5-minute rune, skewer away. GH will take it. He may lose his life for it, however. PA not getting involved as GH tries to walk it off. The Orb of Venom slows him down a bit, but munching on the Tango, life is good. And GH will get away.
Yep. Mind Control gets the bottle off on the bounty rune. Shout out to Kuro, just making sure that he had that secured. He actually got both, which means he's now full HP, full mana almost, and right back to back lane.
Look where Kuro rotates in towards middle lane, looking for the gank over on the Vengeful Spirit. Just a quick slap down from Matumba, and Kuro had the Fortune's End to follow up and get the kill.
And this all really just starts because there wasn't an Undying in the bottom lane. And as soon as PA, you get to a point, 2 Wraith Bands, Magic Wand, you're totally fine now at level 5. You don't need any assistance whatsoever. If you don't pressure this hero right away, he becomes a problem and he can self-sustain. Now your supports are free to rotate, do whatever they want. GH been stacking, been pulling, being a minor annoyance. And, you know, the Empower bot.
Yeah. It's just the amplification of all the farm. The stuff that hasn't had to come into Matumbaman just yet. Kuro again trying to have a bit of a poke around mid, but these supports the levels of the supports are just non-existent. That's a level 2 ES and a level 2 Undying 6 minutes into this game. These are heroes who normally just skyrocket with levels because of successful ganks, kills on cores. But it just doesn't exist at the moment. So Naive trying to back out through the top. They'll be held in place by the Fortune's End. Undying Tombstone, Liquid quickly move over to try and deal with it, but now King R can be involved in mind control, surges himself away, doesn't want to be in that fight, and that allows Kuro the space to kill off the Tombstone.
And the mind control is just playing this lane flawlessly. From item choice to the way he's moving around, constantly applying pressure. They force the TP, immediately get out of dodge. Crow even gets the Tombstone last hit. That's a nice golden fusion. He'll be buying wards. You can already see him in his quick buy. And this is the one downside of the Medusa safe lane where you just you can't stop Darkseer. So you're just trading in a matchup you're so favored in.
Great rotation down. Matubman getting involved in the kills in the side lane. 4 hits. No way the Ghostic is able to escape from the bottom lane. So much double slows. You get it from the skewer. You get it from almost the never-ending stifling daggers that are at level 3 now on the PA. And GH has already managed to afford Arcane Boot 7 minutes in.
That was a vintage mid-1 rotation right there. Nighttime hits. Think about moving. You have your sacks up. Oh, gets swapped in mid, though.
Yep.
Does
Looking
not
to try and dodge with the Mischief, the Magic Missile, unable to do so. That's why King R rolling boulders through, gets kicked back, but support from Liquid comes so quickly, and Matubman still empowered up.
Yep.
Just wrecks face on the ES. It's not finished there. He's going for Sealer underneath the tier 2, but okay, maybe biting off a little bit more than he can chew. Will begin his retreat.
That Liquid's never going to fall for that. I mean, you know Kuro's ready. He's playing Oracle. He picked this hero for a reason. It's the best counter ganker for these early Earth Spirit rotations. That's just never going to work. It has to be so much faster than that. You're not even doing damage to a Monkey King by the time the Oracle's completed his TP. It's gonna backfire.
This feels a lot like I was really worried about how Shadow would work. There were a lot of questions about if he's actually going to be a peak performance to play at Team Liquid's level. But he's moving with the majority of the team. He comes over with GH, but Tumman's going to get this kill up on top because, hey, it's a hasted Monkey King versus a Deuce, so she ain't going anywhere.
What are you talking about? He's been farming. He's just AFK.
Yep.
It's 5K advantage. This is what I'm talking about. It's 4 players of Liquid winning the game, and it's like, yo, Shadow, you do you, dog.
Hey,
we'll empower you.
He's moving with GH. That's why I'm giving him props. My control's going to die on top lane. That finally gets the Pango on the board.
Now, this is what I don't think. This is just not how I would game plan for Liquid with the stand-in, okay? This is what they want, a 4+1, where the +1 is effectively just chilling. And you can't let a guy that's 1 TI just chill in the jungle with Empower. Like, this is great, though, and this is why I love the Mag 4, where GH, he's got Arcanes. Every once in a while, Shadow runs over for an Empower. GH farms the lane, and Shadow just clears the entire jungle. This is great. Super efficient.
Kuro's vision that he put down with the Observer Wards is also watching Wings now, and it's them getting the stacks up. Sorry, watching Wings. Watching Pango, I got that in my head now. Watching Pango putting down stacks. And with the Empower buffer, it's not going to take much for Shadow just to bounce over and just rip them apart.
And you can see, like, this is the downside of Earth Spirit. I think it's one of the best heroes in the patch. But if you can't find kills, what do? He's been sitting behind mid in the trees for about 2 minutes now, and he's confused. Like, what do you do? Where do you go make plays?
I also just like watching that for half a second. Shadow's the cheapest way to farm, where you just trigger your blow while all the creeps are asleep. None of them attack you. He just took an entire Ancient stack without taking any level of damage.
I like the build, too. This is one of those scenarios. You don't have an offlaner that can go Vlads. I've been talking with a lot of players back at the hotel, and they were laughing about how there isn't an offlaner anymore. There's just a Vlad's buyer. This is one of the very rare games where Darkseer can now go more of the mech rush, Greaves most likely, maybe a Crimson or Pipe, and the PA, because you have Empower, you don't need Cleave, and the Vlad's now gives you the ability to farm without taking any damage.
GH is playing beautifully on the bottom. He shockwaves the creep wave, hides in the tree line as Ghostic looked for him, and probably thought that GH just TP'd away to safety. It doesn't happen, and they're looking for a kill. VS, the mid, has rotated to the bottom lane, wanting this kill, so they have to fortify to get behind the tower, swap Insling to the pip, double TPs are on the way. Oracle does not have the false promise available just yet, so Matubman jumping forward, looking for the kill with a swap back. Vengeful Spirit cannot escape.
Yeah, they knew that was coming. They had a ward. You can see Earth Spirit running over it right now. They knew that rotation was en route, and 5-man rotate.
Oh, but Tumba does so much
he juked
damage.
The stun, or the slow, the rock.
He's beaten through. Now the rolling boulder, trying to buy him more time, but Matubman You want to stay next to him, he'll just keep beating down. Jump over the pit.
Wow.
Matumbaman, you said, OD, not a Matumbaman hero. Monkey, a Matumbaman hero. And boy, is he playing it to perfection.
Yeah, this is great. This is how you want to play this hero from mid as well. Again, I have not seen anyone with a performance like this outside of mid one, but Matumbaman, as you said, demonstrating he's not just a green hero player. He can make some moves.
And then you give him the, okay. Either Matumba or Shadow get the Ancient stack, or split it.
But bear in mind, this comes back to the whole concept of damage amplification. None of that happens if he isn't empowered by GH as he leaps forward. And that's what allows him to play so aggressively and with so much confidence, because you just do too much damage at this phase of the game. That's a level 3 empower.
This is also why we see Magnus is just being put into this 4 role. It's like we don't care if he's in a 3. We don't need to run him as a 2. As a 4, as long as he empowers up the cores that need it, you're good.
And I like it a lot because you see too many times where a 3 mag just ends up, he gets the same items GH has, where he's Arcanes and now he's rushing a Blink. But that's too valuable for your not valuable enough for your 3 position. He needs to go these teamfight items, like you can see Mind Control looking to build up. Still saving gold, but you can expect something that's going to boost his team survivability. Let your 4 be the bot.
Can someone let that courier finally deliver? It's moved back and forward a couple of times. I think someone's accidentally pressing the auto courier button, but it's got the diffuser blade from Matumbaman on it. He would have had that at 11 minutes. That's actually when he bought the rest of the recipe. But it's taken some time to get out there.
Man.
Yeah, take up the mid tower. You don't care.
Just feel I really like the way Liquid's game planned this. You have Undying Earth Spirit, 2 of the best supports in the patch. Undying, a lane dominator, felt completely ineffective in the lanes. Earth Spirit, the best rotator, he had to find a kill.
Coming in towards the mid, looking for the kick. Able to get onto Matumbaman, and the pit combining with the Tombstone. Difficult for the Monkey King to get out of this, but now movement speed. It doesn't matter. He's surged up, so there's no slow from the Tombstone. One more attack will get rid of it, and he jumps straight back into the fight to kill off the Undying. Both supports down, and then the double slap into the Wukong's command, right around the tier 1 tower, and the RP combo from GH. It's too good. Even Shadow's coming to be involved in the fight. A triple kill for Matumbaman, and this may actually be the quickest game of the tournament so far to beat the 18-minute Secret 1. Liquid are rolling with this game.
I don't know how the panel picks VP 6 games in a row and goes against Liquid at the start of the day. Do you not know who these guys are? They have practiced, okay? They took a little vacation. They've prepped for this tournament. Yeah, they've got a stand-in, but, I mean, even though the draft could look a little unconventional, it's Liquid here.
Yeah, and they are looking bloody good. All they have to do is keep this momentum up, and Matumbaman, he's hunting more. He's got 7 kills of the 13, and he's going to make it 8. Even looking to dodge any kind of magic missile control. Mischief is just the name of his game. Echo Saber is done. So he had the Diffuser Blade at 12 minutes, and now he has the Echo Saber at 14.
Yeah, he was going to go BKB, but then he realized, well, I have way too much gold. I guess I'll just keep accelerating.
Yeah, I think I'm killing everyone really quickly, and I'm Empower buffed up really heavily and all the time, because there's no mana problems for GH. Like, he got the perfect RP, and he doesn't even have a blink dagger. It's number 4 stuff. He's walking around with arcane boots and a sentry ward.
Yeah. This game was broke wide open thanks to 2 things: the Matumbaman rotations,
bottom lane,
and notably the Darkseer neutralized the Undying's laning presence.
He knew he was in the tree lines. The Observer ward would have seen his exit, and now Matumbaman jumps forward, gets the diffusal off. At least it's a swap, but he ain't going anywhere. Matumbaman now up to 9 kills. On this Monkey King, and they will force the bottom lane. This is the 15-minute bounty runes, which will be 2-2 split, but that's the only upside.
Another thing, the Darkseer Surge, of course, being changed. Since move speed is no longer capped, Surge gives heroes like Monkey King, really just agility heroes, they get more than haste move speed. And that's why it looks like he's just going a bit too fast. There's nothing you can do to stop this guy, and even if you're able to get him low, they can just pop an Oracle ult and he's going to heal the full in the duration.
Oh, they can have a crack at GH. The silence is out, but there's your RP. Support's rotating over Kuro. He got the false promise. They need to actually kill off GH. They cannot get the TP out in time. And GH goes all the way home, now affords its Blink Dagger because they couldn't find that kill. Desolator up for the TA, and at least the Pango are trying to have a fight.
Yep. And shout out to Kuro as well. I'm not sure if that's coordinated or not, but consistently, even when they multi-man TP, he is always the first one. So I've got to assume it's him calling for these teleports, but that's important. He's the save. If he comes in after the 5 second instead of 3, Mag is going to go down there.
Oh, Matumba inside the Wukong again. Use the diffusal so no one can just walk straight out of it. He doesn't want to get out of it himself at the moment. Kills off the illusion of the VS. The Darkseer wall is down. 3 men just continuously vacked back into it. And remember, there's still the Aegis, the Immortal of Matumba. He wants to get into this fight, but they also want to get rid of the Tombstone to create so many undying minions, mainly because of the Ancients that are stacked up. But nowhere for the Pango to run. Slayer is one more hit away from death. GH is going down to kill off the Underlord, but now Monkey King, Matumba with a slapdown, is beyond godlike. 19-1. 12 of the 19 kills belong to Monkey.
Oh my god. You know, a concept we talk about a lot nowadays is reach. I don't know if there's anything that can traverse the map as fast as this Matumba Man Monkey right now.
So easy. Deucer is down.
Yeah.
Make it a good 13, and do you tap out? Is this actually the fastest game? I was kind of joking about it before, knowing that they're moving fast, but damn, Wings and Liquid all together.
Have you even felt like Shadow in this game? Not to say he's playing bad, but this is so casual.
How do you do that? You're eclipsed by this Monkey King. Like, Shadow's lane kind of didn't even matter at the end of the day because they never contested it. They never stopped it. And this mid matchup of just Monkey versus VS never really seemed to work either.
Like, Monkey King is such a strange hero. There's a lot of teams that pick it and play it poorly, and really just so far Secret and Liquid that I've seen impress. And when you get him ahead like this, you have Surge to back him, a 1600 cast range tree dance. Look at this.
Look at him run. Search him up. Has someone got a stun? Oh, of course they do. Monkey King's got one. Shadow will finally find himself a second kill of the game. Greaves completed as well in the Darkseer, 18 minutes in. That's going to push down mid. Look for the lane of Rax. And I don't understand like how the Pango believe they can get back into this game. They don't have a team fight. They don't have control. They don't have damage. They don't have Jack.
Man, this is the thing. You know, we talk about this a lot. You're going to play your entire group on this one day. If you're Pango, you got to take a moment just to get your shit together. Everybody gets crushed once in a while. Take these 2-3 minutes. Think about what went wrong. Go back to the drawing board. Liquid, what, number 2 seed in this tournament? You can expect them to be dominant. Just maybe like 4th seed, whatever.
Yeah, they're up there.
Yeah. Point is,
you do have 4 TI winners in one team.
5.
Well, he's not. Oh yeah, 5. Yeah, you actually don't lose him out. Nice. Never forget Wings.
Yeah. But yeah, point is, you might lose to Liquid, but realistically that doesn't matter. You can still make up a bracket.
Oh, Matumba. He doesn't care as long as he's got the Aegis Immortal. But Mind Control gives it a little bit more life. They pull back the Vengeful Spirit, so Matumba turns his attention. Stonegaze out from the Deucer. They have managed to control up Mind Control for just a second, but then again, Monkey King, how do they kill him off? He still hasn't done it. The slapdown will come, and Monkey King, he will die. Did he lose the Aegis during the fight? Oh, that's just unlucky for him. It's still a 3-for-1 trade-off, but that's a huge trade. A triple kill for Shadow. Now you feel the influence of the PA. Up towards Ghost Stick. In the run, hiding in the trees. Really nice use of Fog of War, so Shadow just goes completely AWOL, unable to find the Underlord.
It was a really cool play. Kuro just missed. He tried to ult him right after the Aegis procced because you don't take damage and the Aegis just keeps ticking you up because you're not actually gaining any health. Would have rendered the Monkey King indestructible. Unfortunately, you know, he died, but it was a cute idea. I don't actually know if it functions like that. Kuro might not. Well, he probably does. He's a TI winner, but...
They're smoking, they're looking to go back in. GH has RP available. They really want to take a fight, and look at them group up! 3 heroes together, and now the cleave of the PA can go to work! A triple kill, block the rolling boulder out, an ultra kill for Shadow.
Get him in there.
Team Liquid,
get in there.
It really is GG. They're going for more kills. You want to buy back a rampage for Shadow. Welcome to Team Liquid. GG game 1, 30-2, 20 minutes on the board. Domination was the name of this game.
Just flawless, really. Like, Liquid, they're the best at understanding how to abuse lanes, what you're looking to do and rotate around the map. And like, they had an answer for everything Pango tried to do. There were like 2 or 3 attempted gank opportunities. Earth Spirit died each and every time.
It's
10 minutes in. I'm watching him just wander around under the liquid wards. Like, what do I do, guys? I can't kill anybody.
It's perfect vision, and then it's almost the start of as well. Like you want to have a good start. Like Shadow's gonna have a lot of confidence after this game moving forward, but then you want the same from Pango. But what happened? The ES gives away first blood, locked in a tree line, looking to gank up on bottom lane. Okay, what do we do? Oh, we just abandon the aggressiveness of the off lane. And then the entire plan of Pango seems to just fall apart. This is a team that beat Virtus Pro. Like, I was hoping to see so much more from them in game 1. The draft felt like it could have been as well.
This is what happens when you upgrade your level of competition. Not to say, the qualifiers were rough, but this is, VP's just going to play standard CIS Dota. They're clowning around. This is Liquid playing a completely different way, far more cerebral than I think they may have ever encountered in their prep for this tournament. And they just, 32? That's what, a shellacking, a stomp? Like, you gotta just chill. It's a long day. You might have a potential, 7, 8 more games. Just relax. They are better than that, and, we'll see what happens.
Oh, well, game 2, they can potentially bring it back. We'll have ourselves a break for the Pango. I hate putting that at the front of a word of a team. Anyway, for Pango to regather their consciousness and come back for game 2.